Hi, this is Allison with MaxWeb. Today we have Haro here with us from Email Oversight. He has over 20 years of experience and will be giving us a demo of their services, as well as explaining about email validation services.
Hi, Allison. Nice to be with you. So yeah, basically I've had about 20 years from every angle in the industry, from being an affiliate to offer owner to e-commerce, um, anything you could basically think of. And today we're gonna talk about email validation and how to improve your email marketing strategy, get more dollars into your pocket with email validation, hygiene, and data enrichment.
Awesome. Can you tell us about email hygiene and what validations are?
Yeah, so basically, anybody who's collecting emails and doing email marketing, you have an email list, and that list could include emails that you don't want to send to, such as spam traps, hard bounces, seed accounts, things like that. And we tell you that before you send an email to those addresses, because you don't want to find out that it's a bad email after you send it, because then the damage is already done. So we're going to show you A to Z how to test those email addresses to make sure that they're valid, how to clean a big email list, and then what to do once you find out what the status of that test is, and moving on from there.
Awesome. Can you tell us what email data enrichment is?
Sure, yeah. So data enrichment is the process of adding missing bits of information to your email list. So you could, for example, if you're in your emails are in the US, you can get the age, the name, date of birth, um, gender, ethnicity, things like that, uh, and plug in some of that missing data for those emails, and then you can start segmenting your email list. And when you're doing your campaigns, for example, if you only want to send to females or males or different age brackets, you're able to do that. And obviously, that's going to give you a much better performance, and you're going to be able to target specific people when you're doing those campaigns.
Awesome. What affiliates are right for your platform?
Good question. So it's going to be basically everybody. Anybody who's collecting emails at any part of their funnel. It could be affiliates, it could be offer owners, uh, anybody that has any kind of email marketing, whether it's 10 people, 1,000 people, or like 10 million people, it doesn't matter. You want to make sure your list is clean, so your sender reputation is going to be, really high, and you're going to start hitting those inboxes, and you're going to see way better email marketing performance. So anybody can use it.
Awesome. Do you mind giving us a demo?
Absolutely. Let me go ahead and share my screen. Screen. Okay. Able to see my screen?
Yes, I am.
Perfect. All right. So basically, this is what you're going to see when you sign into your email oversight account. You'll see I created two lists here. If you wanted to create a new list, you could just click on new list. And when you click create a new list, you'll get a list ID, and you'll be able to either upload your subscribers if you wanted to do it manually here, one per line, or the better way would be to do the API, which is what I'm going to show you. And before I do that, I'm just going to copy this list ID because we're going to need it, 176026. So I'm just going to click on the API link here on the side and then click on email validation. Super easy. It's going to give me a URL with the API token, the list ID, which I'm going to fill in, and then an email equals where we're going to plug in the email. So I'm just going to copy this. Oops. And then we're going to use make.com to do the automation. It's similar to Zapier, but it has the ability to do routing, which is very cool. So I'll show you how to use that. So grab the link, and then just to make sure we have the list ID correct, I'm just going to paste it in here, 176026. So I'm just going to change this right now to 176026. Copy the link again, and then we're going to head over to make.com, and we're going to create a new scenario. So super easy. I'm going to name this Max Web Test. And to get started, just click the plus button. And in this case, we have a MailChimp account, a test account that we set up. So I'm going to look for MailChimp in here as part of their integration. And you can see it's right there. And they have like Klaviyo, a bunch of other ones. So pretty much whatever you're using, you're going to be able to do it from here. And here we're going to do search for subscribers. So we're just going to search for subscribers that come into our list. I'm going to pick the list ID here that I already created, email oversight. Status is subscribed. And I'm just going to get 10 out of 10. So, all right, I'm going to click OK. And I'm just going to run this one time just to make sure everything's working. All right. Looks okay. And then we're going to go ahead and let's see. All right. We're going to create what to do next once we get the emails in our list. We're going to go ahead and add another module. And here we're going to do HTTP. So this is basically going to make a web request, an HTTP request. And in here, we're just going to paste that URL that we copied, which you can see it's here with ID 176026. And then all we're going to do is delete this email at the end, and we're going to paste in, we're going to click on the email address of the subscriber that it finds from here, and then it's going to dynamically insert every email address in here. So it'll check that email address against the API service and then give us a result.
All right, awesome.
Yep, super easy. It's basically all click, drag and drop. So basically anybody can do it, and you'll see what that kind of looks like here. All right, so I'm going to save this. And once we get an email address that comes in, we'll be able to run this. So I'm going to do that right now. I'm just going to type in my personal email address, submit. All right. So I'm going to refresh this MailChimp just so we can see that the email address is in here. Let's see, it's a little slow. All right. Cool. So we're going to run this, and we should see a result here. Here it is. So it picked up the new email address that came in, and then it made this HTTP call to the email oversight validation service. And then here we can see the output and the data. In this case, it came back with a list ID that we provided. So it put that email in that list. And the result was verified. It's a good email, and the ID is 1. So if we wanted to kind of look and see what these IDs mean, the result IDs, all we have to do is go back to API on the side here, click on email validation, and you'll see a results table here. So basically, you definitely always want to send to these verified emails. This is the response code 1, which we just saw there. Response text is verified, description, email address is deliverable. If it was any of these other responses, you'll see what the text is and what the description is, and then you can decide if you want to send to those or not. Some of them, obviously, you never want to send to, such as the spam trap, the malformed, bots, seed accounts, etc. Some of the other ones, like a catch-all or a role, you could decide on your own if you want to send to those or not. But you'll get a description of everything here and be able to make that decision for yourself. So the next step in our demo is once you get the data, what do you want to do with it? So in this case, I want to create a route and I'm gonna say one route for the good emails and one route for the bad emails, and then we'll see what we can do for both. So here I created a route. I'm gonna name this one good, and then I'm gonna name this one bad. And I'm just gonna delete the rules for bad. I'm just gonna create a fallback. So anything that's not good will come into this route and go through that process. So for the good, I'm gonna say I'm gonna look for the result IDs from the HTTP call. So I'll just click on that, and I'm gonna say a numeric operator equal to 1. So the only results that I want to send emails to or label as good are going to be the response number 1. So I'll click on that. Okay. And if it's good, I'm going to go back to MailChimp. I'm going to say add or update subscriber. I'm going to choose my list. I'm going to click on email. I'm going to I'm going to choose the email address from the original email address that it found in the list. So that's always updating the same one. And if it's a new customer, it'll create a new customer or update the existing one. Yes. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to create a tag. I'm going to name the tag um, valid email true. And that's going to update MailChimp with that tag for that subscriber. And then same thing for bad. I'm going to click on the plus. I'm going to choose MailChimp, and I'm going to do an update. I'm going to select the email here. I'm going to choose the list ID. And in this case, I'm going to unsubscribe them. So if they're no good, I'm going to unsubscribe it. And I'm going to tag them with valid email false. And that's it. So I'm going to
Perfect.
save that. And so Allison, I'm just going to refresh this. I'm just going to put your name here, but just make a random one at maxweb.com and then submit it. So I just added your name here, and let's see what happens. You're now in the list, and we're gonna run this, and it should find you. Yep, Allison. So now it's making the HTTP call. It called it, and it looks like it's bad. So it sent you to the bad route, and it should have unsubscribed you. So if we go here, we refresh MailChimp, we'll see what happened here. Yep. So here you are, Allison, the email that we created. Valid email is false, and you've been unsubscribed. So we can take a look on that and see what result code it gave us if we wanted to. Here's the call, that API call that it made to Allison, 233333. And the data, it's a catch-all result ID 3, in which case, if it's not a 1, everything else comes in here. Now you could decide, it's you want to send to catch-all emails, that's up to you. If you wanted to do that, you can create another rule in here that says, if result ID is a numeric equal to 3, I wanted to send or label as good. In that case, it'll do that as well. So you can send to catch-alls if you want. But that's basically it. So you can see it's super simple with make.com. We did an integration for MailChimp. You can do an integration with any email service provider, basically. You can use Zapier to do this. You can have a programmer do it if you have that resource. And if you don't, you can do this. Anybody can do this very easily the way we just did it. And you'll be able to do that for your emails. You'll be able to do that for if you're doing SMS marketing, similar steps for the phone validation. And you'll be able to clean both those emails and phone lists super easily and make sure emails are going to the inbox and you don't have any spam issues.
Wow, that looks easy. I'm sure the affiliates will get a lot of value out of that. Is there also a data append that is available through API as well?
Yep. So the data append feature is very similar to what we just did. And you can do that by by clicking on data append, selecting the piece of data that you want, um, and then clicking apply, or you can use the API, which is basically going to be able to do that um, same process for the data append feature. And you can select to do all the data, whatever we can get, or specific things that you want, for example, age, date of birth, and each one of these has their own API URL to do that. It's very easy.
That's awesome. Do you have a promo code for our viewers today?
Yep. So we did create a custom promo code for all Max Web affiliates, offer owners, anybody that wants to use it. So just use the code MaxWeb 1000, MaxWeb 1000 when you're signing up in the referral code box, and then we'll go ahead and add 1,000 credits for you, and you can get started right away on testing.
That's awesome. Thank you so much. Below, I can link down a sign up link, and I can link a sign up link for MaxUp as well as our top email campaigns to really get things going. Thank you so much. This has been so useful, and I think our affiliates will really get some value out of it.
My pleasure. And yeah, hopefully everybody gets a lot of value out of it and ups their email game. And can't wait to see what your guys do
Awesome. Thank you so much.
anytime. Thank you. Bye bye.